These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
Hello on this Monday, I'm Megan Thompson, tracking those top stories for you from ABC15 Arizona. And right now, our teams are closely monitoring for any movement from the Arizona Attorney General's office. Now, as we told you on Friday, AG Chris Mays is threatening legal action against House Speaker Mike Johnson for delaying the swearing-in of Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva. She won Congressional District 7 in a special election to replace her father, Raul Grijalva. The House Speaker is blaming the government shutdown. Johnson is calling the threat from the AG a publicity stunt. But for now, District 7 voters do remain without representation right now in Congress. Our team at ABC 15 is continuing to dig deeper into how our lives are being impacted by the government shutdown. Good news, our team is learning the shutdown should not have any bearing on your FAFSA or your federal student aid. ABC 15's Nick Saletti recently spoke to NerdWallet lending expert Kate Wood about this. She says the shutdown will have relatively little or no impact on processing your FAFSA. The Department of Education has also said major aid programs for students. Nick has had some parents ask them if people were having problems like they have in recent years. Here's what Kate had to say.
A couple years ago, we were seeing all of those issues with the FAFSA. Are we still seeing that, or have things kind of ironed themselves out?
We are no longer seeing the issues that we saw the first couple of years of this new FAFSA. Now that we're a couple years into it, the rollout went completely smoothly. It was in beta testing in August and September. The form actually opened September 24th. That's the earliest it's ever opened. And anecdotally, we have not been hearing from borrowers that they're facing any kinds of technical difficulties or glitches filling out the form.
Now, the best time to fill out the FAFSA is as soon as you can. You can go to studentaid.gov right now and fill out the 2026-2027 FAFSA today.
Have you ever booked a flight with a credit card only to leave that credit card at home? Well, you only need to make that mistake once to learn why it's so important to bring that card along if you're taking certain flights.
Do you always pack the credit card you used to book your flight?
Yes, always bring it.
One time, Stacy Davis left it at home.
It did make it a little difficult.
Well, this man says you should always bring the card that booked the flight. He's Herb Weisbaum, a consumer expert and retired correspondent from the Today Show. Even he was stumped, though, returning home from a trip with his wife to England when they were denied boarding their return flight home.
It said the only way we could identify ourselves and start the process was with the credit card that we had purchased the ticket with.
A Delta agent said he needed to show that specific card.
I don't travel with all my credit cards. I leave some of them home.
You had a reservation and you had a passport and they wouldn't let you on the plane?
We had a passport, we had a driver's license, we had a confirmation code.
Weisbaum says he was given three options. Buy a $3,000 one-way ticket, stay in London, or send a photo of the missing card. He chose option 3.
I called my good neighbor, Sam. He broke into my house at 3 o'clock in the morning, legally.
We reached out to Delta for clarification on its credit card policy. A spokesperson tells us most customers in most instances will not have to show the card used to purchase their booking at the airport. The airline provides this guidance to customers online. To safeguard against credit debit card fraud, the purchaser may have to show us the credit debit card along with a valid photo ID, adding it can be based on billing address or the country of travel. This appears to be more common with international flights. Still, it might be worth carrying the card you bought the ticket with.
But if that's the policy, tell me about it. Make it very, very clear.
So you don't waste your money. John Matteries, Scripps News Group.
Tracking your most accurate forecast on this Monday, I'm meteorologist Jorge Torres. We're starting off a cool start once again in the valley with temperatures generally in the low to mid 60s. By midday, we're in the lower 80s with abundant sunshine and highs topping out near normal at 89 degrees after yesterday's toasty 90. Will be similar, at least for the next couple of days as far as those temperatures. Northern Arizona highs in the upper 60s along the South Rim and Flagstaff near 70 Window Rock. Mid 70s in Winslow and across southern Arizona today. Those highs staying in the mid 80s from Casa Grande to Tucson, but out in western part of the state, a bit warmer in the lower 90s from Gila Bend all the way to Yuma. And in the valley, we're expecting a similar forecast later this week. Tomorrow, in fact, we're calling for a high of 91, 92 on Wednesday, but we do return a slight chance of a shower that day. As the storm moves in, that will drop highs the rest of the week, back in the mid-80s beginning Thursday. In the high country, you'll keep your highs in the upper 60s to near 70 through at least Tuesday. Slight chance of a shower on Wednesday. Then we cool down later this week, too, with highs in the lower 60s by Thursday.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, you can always head to abc15.com or download that, always free, ABC 15 mobile app. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the weather, everybody.
These latest headlines from ABC 15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.